Righty, I think we're live now. So we'll wait a few minutes, see if we have some friends join us. But tonight we're going to be talking about All Saints Day, which is coming up in just a few weeks. So I'll just give us a moment to join. And we'll get started very soon. And if you are joining us, I'd love to know where you are joining us from. So feel free to drop where you're coming from, what grade you teach, what your role is maybe. If you're not in the classroom, I'd love to see that in the comments. All right, well, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get started just to keep everyone's time. I know time is precious, so thank you so much for joining. I'm Annie McGuire, fourth grade teacher and the person behind Adventures of a Fourth Grade Classroom. And today I'm going to share with you a little bit about All Saints Day. It's one of my favorite days to celebrate. I'm a big saint person and they're a big part of my faith. And so I love sharing them with my students. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just a little housekeeping. I won't be able to see comments until this is done, just the way that I'm using Zoom tonight. So I'll share my screen. I will come back in the comments when we're done here. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen now and get us ready. All right. Here we go. All right, well, I'm just praying that everything's working as it should right now. So we're gonna talk about celebrating the saints with your students tonight. The goals of this mini workshop are to better understand, have a better understanding of All Saints Day. That's for you, so you know what you're talking about with your students. And then also a bunch of lesson ideas for you and your students. So I'll start with what is All Saints Day. I know sometimes even just in the teaching world and in Catholic schools, we teach about these things, but we're not always sure what these holy days are. And so All Saints Day is celebrated on November 1st every year. It originated with Pope Boniface IV, but it was actually Pope Gregory III that moved it to November 1st, and that happened in the mid-700s. And so it's been around for a really long time, which I love sharing with my students, just kind of the history of where this day came from. And it's a day that's dedicated to all saints of the church. And that doesn't mean just the saints that are canonized. So it's all saints, which are anyone who has reached heaven. Is part of this group that we celebrate on All Saints Day. And so it's believed that there could be millions of people that we are celebrating on this day. It is a holy day of obligation, so we are called to attend church, attend Mass, and so you'll probably be going to Mass with your students. The gospel of the day is all about the Beatitudes, which I love. I teach my students the Beatitudes in fourth grade. And so the Beatitudes are kind of that guideline of how to live a good saintly life. And so then we're able to, connect the Beatitudes to these saints and what are these qualities and what saints have which ones. And so it's nice that I love Beatitudes being paired with All Saints Day. Makes it really concrete for the students. So that's just a little bit of the history of the day, and so that you have it to share with your students. So now we're going to go into sharing a bunch of lesson ideas. And if you stick around to the end, I've created a little cheat sheet, so you don't have to worry about writing any of this down. I've got all the links for you. So that and ideas, and so you can just click through stuff. So you can just listen during the next few minutes as we go through them. So some of the lesson ideas, and I didn't put this first one on here, but is having a bulletin board about the saints, and maybe like the connections the kids have to the saints, and saint quotes. So that's my Celebrate the Saints bulletin board set that I love putting up in my classroom. But then I also do an introduction. And so a lot of the information I just shared with you comes from, and I don't know if you guys can see my little picture, but comes from an introduction, just a little one pager for my students in the upper elementary class. And it comes with a review. I love when I can pair religion with reading comprehension and just doing a quick check-in so they're learning but religion, but we're assessing some reading skills as well. So the introduction activity, I actually have one for 3, 4, 5, which is the one I just showed you. And then I have a little booklet for first and second, and another even smaller booklet for preschool and kindergarten, so that we have K-5 covered, and you can have your students learn about this day for whatever grade level you teach. So that's a great way to do an introduction. So you may even do that a few days before All Saints Day. And then one of my things I do with my students, and this is a little bit newer for me, but it's been really fun, because All Saints Day is about, not just the canonized saints, but also I love having my students see themselves as saints, and that's going to come in these next 2 ideas. And so the first one is a little saint nomination form, and it just says, who would you like to nominate to be a saint? Explain why you'd want to nominate them, and 3 saint-like qualities that they have, and draw a picture of the person. And so it's really sweet to see who the students nominate, different classmates, family members, staff members at school, kind of the unsung heroes that sometimes that they pick. And it's really sweet for them to kind of reflect on who's someone in my life that has these saint-like qualities. And so oftentimes with student permission, we'll hang these up around school, and then they can take them home and share them with whoever they nominated. But it's just a really sweet activity. And I love the students being able to see the qualities of the saints within themselves and within the people in their world. So that's a really fun activity, and that's a free activity that I'll link at the end for you. Another one is a parade of saints that you can have. This is an activity I did as a kid growing up. And so you can either have students choose their own saint, or one of the things that I've done at my school is we've had the students create their own saint name. And so we do this by taking their first name and the name of the street they live on. So for example, I always use my grandpa for this because it's where the idea came from. My grandpa's nickname was St. Thomas of Cullum. And so his name was Thomas. He lived on Cullum. And so he was so helpful around the neighborhood that they nicknamed him St. Thomas of Cullum. And so I love, again, the students seeing themselves as saints. So take their first name and then put their street name with it. So, we hear St. Ignatius of Loyola, St. Francis of Assisi. And so, where they're from or a connection to them. And so by putting the student's street name with them, it's that home connection for them. So for the Parade of Saints, you can either create little crowns that they wear, or you can create like little bib things that they wear with their saint name, but you can have them create that and then have a little parade around your school. If you're the youngest students, you can also pair it with working with your pair buddies and working with the older students. So there's a lot of things you can do with the Parade of Saints, but those are a few ideas for you. Next up are some saint report templates. And so I have one that has 50 different saints pre-done for you. Great for like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. And then I also have a free, just a basic template. No specific saint, but you can fill out the information with a little bit of research. And this one comes in both print and in a Google form. So you can, if you're in the older grade, you can definitely do the digital version of it, which might be more fun for your students to do. And then coloring pages, great for the littles. there's 77 saints included in this. St. Bridget and St. Andrew right there, two of my favorites. And so great for your younger students, your preschool students to get involved. They're still young to really dig deep into the saints. So just introducing who these saints are, maybe some of the symbols that go along with them, is a great way to start teaching them about All Saints Day. You can also come up with a classroom patron saint. So have your students do a little research and little presentations on why they think that should be their patron saint of your classroom. And then you can take a vote on which saint you guys will choose as your patron saint. And then a great way to do that is to incorporate it then into your morning prayer. For my students, we always say, St. Andrew, pray for us. He's the patron saint of our school. It's part of our prayer routine every morning. So you could take whatever saint your students come up with, incorporate that into your morning prayer as well, and have that nice classroom connection to a saint. Other ideas, you could do a saint research paper, which I have included in the links later. And it's more for your upper elementary, 4th, 5th, 6th, but walks you through everything. I did forget to mention in the saint reports, with the 50 different saints, it includes a page that has links that you can just copy and paste for your students if you have Google Classroom or some other online platform. I tried to find kid-friendly websites with all the information that they would need, or most of it at least. And so you don't even have to look for that. You can just get those links and copy and paste them into your Google Classroom or whatever for your students. But the Saint research paper, it walks your students start to finish for a formal research paper, but Saint themed, which is great. And it has an example essay at the end for students to look at as well. Saint mini books, you can see there, these are great for the littles, for your kindergarten and first grade, or preschool, kindergarten, first grade, for them also to work, learn about the saint, do a little coloring, but also work on their printing. And so they can trace over the letters as they go. There's 25 saints included in that. So a wide variety, and maybe even have some student choice of someone they'd be interested in learning about. I have full saint biographies. I have a ton of those. I don't even know how many, but if you want to take a look, there is St. Joseph, which is for free, and you can look at that one just to kind of see what's included in everything. Perhaps there's a patron saint that I have of yours that you can focus on your school patron saint. Just your students can dive a little bit more into a specific saint that has meaning to them. Really fun for some of the younger kids. You could do Saint Snack. So these are just some examples. St. Andrew, you could do Swedish fish. He's the patron saint of fishermen. St. Francis, patron saint of animals. You could do animal crackers. St. Patrick, of Ireland, patron saint of Ireland, Irish tea or soda bread or brown bread. And then St. Valentine, maybe some chocolate hearts to go along with him. But I like Saint Snacks is a little bit of a fun thing to do, part of your celebration, maybe pair it even with your parade of saints. Simple things I do year round is my classroom decor, and I have a lot of saints involved in it. So you'll see here, this is back by my group work table, and that is just our saint pictures, just always a reminder of our faith in my classroom. But there's other ways you can do it. I also have a saint themed affirmation station where my students can look in a mirror and say positive things about themselves, with the saints in mind and the traits of the saints. So just always thinking, these are year round, not just All Saints Day, but you could certainly just put them up for the time around All Saints Day. And then a few books I wanted to share with you. This one's called Brilliant 25 Catholic Scientists, Mathematicians, and Super Smart People. Probably great for your 3rd, 4th, 5th grade students. But I was gifted this book, and it's really a neat just perspective and learning about different saints and important people in our faith that were involved in science and math. So I have this linked for you in the end activity. And this I didn't put on here, and I didn't think I brought it home from school, but specifically if you have your saint is St. Ambrose or you want to learn about him, there's a really sweet book, like the ABCs of St. Ambrose and his life, and So I just thought that was fun, and I found it last minute in my stuff, so I thought I would share that with you. So those are a ton of ideas coming at you today on different ways you can celebrate All Saints Day with your students, along with just giving you a little background of the history of the day and why we celebrate it. So this is some quick links for you. So if you go to either the bit.ly at the bottom or use the QR code, this I will put in the comments when we're done here. But it has everything you need, everything I talked about, and then some. I included some blog posts in there as well. And all you have to do is click on the link and it'll take you to the resource or the freebie or the blog post or the book, whatever you might need. So I am going to move on to another slide. I have this up at the end as well. So if you didn't get it, again, I'll also put it in the comments for you. And I did just want to mention that all of the resources that I talked about tonight are included in my Seton Scholars teacher membership. So any of the resources that I've created that I talked about tonight are included. So Seton Scholars is a membership made for the Catholic school teacher. I am a 4th grade teacher myself, and so I know how busy we are. And so my goal is to make your life a little bit easier by having this membership. So I'm hoping that I'm saving you time, but also giving you resources that your students can help your students make their faith come to life. So everything is faith-based, and you also get exclusive resources every single month. There's a Seton Scholars exclusive that only you get for being in the membership. And we also have a little Facebook community where we work together and share ideas. And it's a really lovely group of people in our Facebook group. And so just to walk you through what it looks like. So you get a monthly resource page, and all the months are up, but I just update it when that month comes about, and you get a blog post, an exclusive resource, the calendar, which I'll show you that in a moment. And then I have everything categorized. So you can just click the link and all the resources are included. It's kind of like a Netflix, but for Catholic school teachers. Has everything that you need, all the resources. You get a blog post every month that kind of gives you an overview of what's going on, along with a little explanation of the exclusive resource. I have something I call 4th Friday Fellowship, which is an idea of fellowship that you can do on the 4th Friday of every month, themed to what's going on in the liturgical season and month that we are in. So that's all included in your blog post. An exclusive resource every single month. There's a new one that comes out. And as long as you're a member, you have access to all of the resources, exclusive resources from the past. So once you're a member, and as long as you're a current member, you get access to all of this. And then you get a calendar as well. And this is a clickable calendar. So you can, I put all the links of different feast days. So you really don't have to think about it. You can just head to this to help plan. And then you just click the link and then you can print off the activity from there. And so today I am doing a 20% off for your first month. And so if you use the code SAINT20 at checkout, there's a little button that says like coupon code, I think, and you just have to click that and put in SAINT20 and it'll give you 20% off your first month for any individual membership. So you can either use the bit.ly code there, Seton Scholars all caps. You can use the QR code, or I'll put the link into the comments as well. So this is only good for tonight and tomorrow. So if you want to join or give it a try, you can get 20% off your first month or first payment even if you choose one of the other options. So if you choose the yearly option, it'll be 20% off this year and then not next year. So you can, but 20% off today and tomorrow. So if you have questions on that, let me know. But we'd love to have you in our membership. It's been really fun, and also love getting ideas from my members on things that they need in their classroom. And then I work on creating it. And so and then put it in the membership for them. So love taking suggestions on things from people in the group. And go back. Oh. All right. And then I said that I would put this up again. And so these are just the quick links again. If you go to bit.ly/All Saints Day quick links, this will be all set for you. And yeah, so I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you were able to take something away that you can use with your students as All Saints Day comes up on November 1st. And if you need anything or have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can message me or you can just leave a question in the comment and I will work on answering you. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a great next couple weeks and a wonderful All Saints Day with your students.